Good evening, everybody. This is Commander Evil Zone. Or should I say Evil Zone, because we're not playing Elite Dangerous tonight, but instead, we're here for part 4 of Citizen Sleeper 2. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I was at my sister-in-law's birthday. Up until now, we had some barbecue, and I ate way too much, so I'm stuffed. But I had a great time, and yeah, as is the usual case with birthday celebration, everything takes a little bit longer than it usually does. Little Zolan had to go to bed though, so that's why I'm not even later than I already am. So, without a lot of additional delay, we're just gonna hop into the game, and then we'll see where we left off. Let's switch over to the 2D game. Okay. Let me double check. Are the sources all working? They seem to. And then let's start. We are on cycle 18. 18 days that we've survived more or less successfully. The previous space station we were on got destroyed just as we left. We don't know yet if this is connected to us or not. And now we are on a new station. And we have different things going on. We're currently out of dice, so we'll start by going to the rig. Let's just double check. Yeah, we have undergoing repairs, and because of that, the rig has been severely damaged. Because of that, we cannot travel until the repair work is done. So we'll just end the cycle. Okay. Back with a full set of dice, and the story continues. As you drift lazily down to the ship's mess, you hear raised voices. You steel yourself for a moment at the entrance, then slip inside. Seraphin sits hooked onto his usual stool, his slate glowing beside him. He's shaking his head as you enter. Bliss, meanwhile, is floating freely and gesticulating sharply as they explain something important. I don't see why not, Bliss chops at the air. It's not like you have an alternative. We can get the cryo. It'll take time, but we can get it. That was the deal. Seraphin speaks calmly, trying to placate Bliss. Sleeper! Bliss spots you entering, and they turn to Seraphin. Let's see what Sleeper thinks about it. About what? They both fall silent for a moment. Seraphin sighs. The rig's ready, Sleeper. Bliss gestures around the mess. I fixed it. Hell, I've improved it. She's purring thanks to me. Now, wouldn't you say, having done such an incredible job, I deserve to be paid properly for my work? A calculated look crosses their face. A refit and retune like this would typically cost my clients hundreds of cryo, even if I was feeling charitable. Seraphin sighs loudly. He knows where this is going. Well, I have a feeling I know too, and I'm all for it. See, I could make you pay, and maybe you could even scrape the cryo up, but not without taking a contract and taking the ship off station, leaving me in the lurch. We wouldn't do that, Seraphin starts, but Bliss holds up a hand to shush him. So I have a proposition. One that clears the debt completely. They pause. I will turn around the open sign on this little bay of mine and join up with you. You keep me in work, give me my split, and give me transits to wherever you are headed. I'll even keep this rig of yours working for free. They shrug. What could be better than that? I agree. What could be better? Free repairs, and obviously Bliss has been doing a great job so far. Us paying and being on our way with no hangers on. Seraphin folds his arms and looks at you. Tell them, sleeper. Actually, we could use their help. Bliss grins at Seraphin. See? Sleeper gets it. I'm sure Seraphin's gonna hate me for that. I would have wished they wouldn't have put this on the spot like this. Or there would have been an option to say, let's talk about this and we'll let you know once we made up our mind. But if they put me on the spot like this, well, that's what you get for that. You can use my help. I'm an excellent engineer, a tidy shipmate, and a half-decent chef. I'm done with Farspindle. I'm done taking not enough jobs for not enough cryo on a station where I know nobody. They pause satisfied. You're welcome. Seraphin holds up his hands. Look, we appreciate it, but we are on the run, Bliss. Trust me, you are better off here. He gives them a serious look. Even telling you this could put you in danger. Bliss pauses. Then they start laughing. On the run? They shake their head, smiling. You expect me to be scared off by that goofy shit? It's true. Bliss just shrugs. This system is at war. The belt is spiraling into crisis. Everyone's got something. I know you were at Hexport. Seraphin looks at them open-mouthed, searching for a retort. What happened there? Who's to say it won't happen here? I'm not sitting around watching this all play out any longer. They take a deep breath. Something has to give. Bliss turns to Seraphin. Look, you've done your due diligence or whatever. You are on the run. I've been warned. I accept the risks. That's it. At the end of the day, your ship is clamped into my bay. So unless you know my encryption protocols, there's not much left to discuss. Seraphin shakes his head, a small smile crossing his face. They've got us there. He looks at you, then at Bliss. Looks like we've gained a new crewmate. He unhooks from his stool. But I'm moving to the engine room, and he drifts off towards the bunks to gather his things. You and Bliss exchange a nervous look. Sleeper. Welcome aboard. Bliss smiles and gives you a half-hearted mock salute. You leave Bliss in the galley and head for the cockpit. The rig is ready to fly again, but the question is, where to take her next? Seraphin mentioned Flotsam, a short starward journey from here, as a busy station where you might find an artificer to help diagnose your glitches and errors. Sunward, meanwhile, is the Hellion Gate, an abandoned and uninhabited megastructure left over from the Solheim days. Maybe good for salvage, but not an easy place to survive. And beyond that, well, as they say, the belt is wide, and at least now you have a functioning ship. You have unlocked the belt map. Go to the map and press belt button to travel to other hubs and discover new parts of the Starward belt. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, so there's a debris field, and we would need a Hasnav to get to the Holmes Rock. We can go to Flotsam. We can't get to Wellspring because of the debris field. We can get to Hellion Gate. There's an irradiated zone, so we can't get to Dark Side. We wouldn't want to go back to Dark Side anyway, but theoretically we just go around. We can't get to Scatter Yards, and we can't get to Greenbelt. Well, we could get to Greenbelt by going to Hellion Gate first. But I have a feeling we're not going anywhere right now, because instead we are continuing on with discovering what's left to discover on this base. What was that? Oh, the gambler's friend. Yeah. Yeah, we had cadet mentioning help with something, and there was more. I thought maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was it. I mean, we could try to make friends with the gamblers. But I think we should maybe we fill up on supplies, but to do that we need to make money. Oh, we're full on supplies. It's fuel. All right, we've got 5 fuel. That should be enough for now. Let's take a look at the map and look at the mission. The ice-rich asteroid Malik and the Springtide are being held on the far spindle until he can fulfill the water order. Yeah, that was the mission we had the last time. We helped them repair their big rig. Let's just get enough money to buy 1 more unit of fuel and eat up. So let's do a venture bar shift, because we have the dice to make this a 100% successful. Only vouch for members can gamble on the venture, but bar shifts are easy to come by, mostly because they pay in tips and little more. You manage to find a big winner, and they tip well before security comes to ask them a few difficult questions. Okay. Let's try one more. A dreary cycle full of desperate and angry drunks. Even when you get a customer, you don't feel much like chatting. Okay, let's try one more. Ugh, another dreary cycle. Now I'm starving. Didn't make a lot of money. But we can order a rack, and now we're going to find out how much that's going to refuel us. Rack is a seaweed-based liquor with a powerful saline taste. Gaia's Gyre has a reputation for serving it neat and strong, and we need to get at least 3 more of these for getting racked. Okay, so it just refills 1, which is fair enough. Let's just get those 3. Rather than dulling your senses, the wreck heightens them. Your frame buzzes as it struggles to metabolize drink. All right, now we got racked. The freelancers of the far spindle seem cagey, but spend enough time at the local bar and they'll get warm to you. I'm still a little bit recovering. I don't know, last time you might have noticed at some point tears were streaking down my face towards the end of the stream. I'm feeling way better now, but I still have a little bit of a cough. The Far Spindle is an exhausting place to find freelancers. There's no shortage of spacers here. The corridors and bays throng with crew inbound and outbound, on or between contracts, trading stories, contacts, and materials. But whatever language, appearance, or code identifies someone as worth signing on with, you don't seem to have it. Perhaps it is because you are a new face, or are noticeably unsure. Or perhaps it's just because you are asleep. You push the thought to the back of your mind and instead focus on what's in front of you. The vast cylindrical tank at the center of Gaia's Gyre. The first time you entered the bar, you floated open-mouthed, much like all the new arrivals do, at the sight of the huge kelp stack, the biggest you have ever seen. Even now, your eyes fixed on the fronds of seaweed that wave in the circulating water beyond the curve of dirty glass, you find it impressive. You take a sip of the harsh, saline-scented rack from its magnetic vessel secured to the bar. As you suck on the straw, your eyes following the shifting fronds, you hear someone clearing their throat beside you at the bar. Hypnotic, isn't it? The voice is low and rumbling and comes from the large figure on the stool next to you. The fluorescent lights behind the bar glint in his eyes, shining up into his wide, rough face. I've heard talk you're hiring. The figure turns to face you. You don't recognize him, but in the shifting light of Gaia's Gaia, that isn't surprising. And you are? Eugen, currently freelance. He turns on his stool and leans back a little. The effect is clearly meant to impress on you his size, and you have to admit, it works. Served on a whole slate of crews out of the Spindle. Cutters, mercs, extractors. He smiles and places a broad hand on his chest. Broad skill set, good work ethic, sense of humor, the full package. Humble too. He clucks with his tongue, smiling. I like you already. We're going to get on. I'll run anything out of the Far Spindle. I'm tough and quiet. You won't need to worry about me. He folds his arms across his chest. What kind of work are we talking about? Before you can answer, a voice echoes out from behind you. Eugen! You look over your shoulder for the source of the shout. Busy as ever, I see. A group of 3 spacers drift up behind you, one of them placing a heavy hand on your shoulder. She's fitted with matte metal optical implants, and you cannot see her eyes. The caustic light from the tank plays across her face. Too busy to keep in touch, she sighs. I really don't like it when I have to come and find you. Vesna, Eugen nods politely at her, not betraying any strong reaction. Do I look like I'm socializing? He shakes his head. This is a meeting. Oh, a meeting. Vesna squeezes your shoulder. Is that what this is? Yes, Vesna. We are talking about your delivery, in fact. Eugen smiles widely. My friend here is being very helpful. He shoots you a knowing glance. Stay silent. What have I gotten myself into now? Eugen shoots you another glance to try to cue you in, but you ignore him. Vesna looks irritated. You know, Eugen, I am pretty tired of this whole act. She gestures dismissively at him. But in the end, it doesn't matter. She drops her hand from your shoulder to your belt. Your eyes follow it down, and you see a dark, boxy shape there. A weapon? You either deliver by the deadline, or you don't. And when you don't, she smiles tightly, I'll be happy to take you through the consequences. Until then, she shoots you a final glance. Chat to whoever the hell you want to. Vesna and the 2 spacers flanking her glide out of the bar, and Eugen watches them go with little emotion. So, Eugen's smile returns. You were about to hire me? What was that? Vesna? He shrugs. She's just trying to rush me, that's all. I won't be working with her again. He pauses, choosing his words carefully. Of course, I can't talk about the particulars. You understand. Vesna just wants to scare you off. She likes to cause me trouble. Eugen looks away out of the door of the bar. Let's not let her. He pauses in silence for a moment, still looking away. You try to get a read on him, but his face is blank. Only his glittering eyes hit at some rapid internal activity. He turns back to you and meets your eye, a sudden shift in his manner obvious. If you need crew, you need to work. If you need to work, you need cryo. Is that right? He doesn't stop for your answer. Well, I can offer both. Hard work and a good contract with a good payout. You take me with you on this job of mine, and we split the take. He looks down, thinking. Hell, if you do, I'll consider signing on long term. He smiles. Think of that. No more recruiting. What's the job? Salvage. He leans in. I know of a wreck, untouched by the local crews, which recently turned up in the wash. It's just a little sunward from here, but its disabled transponder makes it invisible to anyone who doesn't know it's there. Had to squeeze the location out of a contact, but I'll share it with you for a straight split. Take me and your crew, and we'll claim it all. It's going to be a good payout. He winks. A really good one. What's the catch? Eugen frowns. No catch. He leans back and looks around the bar. Happy to take the offer elsewhere. I just felt like you were the right captain for this one. I'll be ready to go whenever you like. Eugen pauses. As a show of good faith, I'll also fly out with you on any job from the far spindle. But I'm not leaving the station with you yet. Not till we get my job done first. After that, we can talk flying together. No need to rush into it. He shakes your hand firmly, his palm rough and pitted, then turns back to his drink. You slip out of the bar, looking to see if Vesna is nearby. You don't spot her among the passing crews, but you can't help but imagine eyes on you in the bar. You shake it off, having become familiar with the feeling of being observed. What matters is you have found yourself a crew member and a contract. Whether either will become good, however, remains to be seen. All right, that's great. So I would say we'll take this guy with us to see what he's worth. And then if he proves to be useful, then we'll take him and do his job for him. Now, with that being said, I just realized we now have 5 XP, which means we could buy a new skill with the 5 points. We could improve engineer to have a 0 effect as opposed to the double negative. We could turn our interface into double positive, or we could increase one of the other twos, intuit, engage, or we could max out our push ability. Since we're going on a ride now, we could do that. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I think I'm going to buy the +1 twice. Reroll random dice but +1 roll. That just means we have to use the ability as late as possible. Should I do that? Yeah, let's do that. Confirm. And then, like I said, because now, if I take reroll dice cannot be a 1, that means it's at least a 2. 2 plus 1 rolled is a 3. But reroll random dice, but plus 1 rolled twice is also a 3. But it's even higher on all the other dice rolls. So let's take that. Okay. Now let's go to the store, see if we have enough credits to fill the fuel up once. Yep. Now we have 6. And we are going to go to the Ice Ridge asteroid for the water. Yeah. Alright, confirm vector. Can we take both? Eugen and Bliss. Right, because Seraphin said he's still recovering from his wounds. And that actually looks like a good skill set because this might complement my skill set. So let's travel to the contract. Yeah, confirm crew. The asteroid looms large in the cockpit's glass. Light glints off the sheets of surface ice, the same glint that must have caught Malik's attention when he was fleeing the Conway countermeasures that damaged the Springtide. The Springtide is the big water cruiser delivery ship. There's been no sign of Conway drones or mines, but that hasn't stopped Seraphin being cautious in his approach. You have to admit you found yourself searching the black void of space for a telltale blinking red beacon too. We're close enough to jump down to the surface. Seraphin locks down the engines. I don't see anything on the scope, but I'll keep her warm just in case. Thanks. He nods without looking up from the controls. I say we core this snowball fast, Eugen shrugs. The less time we're out there, the less likely we are to run into anything Conway left behind. He smiles. Simple. Sure, Seraphin cuts in. But fast means messy, and messy means more damage to the ice. We don't need to crack the shelf and lose half of the water we came to survey. Who said anything about messy? Eugen stretches, unclipping from his seat. Fast and clean, he winks at you. Easy. You unclip from your seat and kick off towards the airlock. The scale of the asteroid is troubling, but Seraphin assured you on a journey here that surveying it would be easy enough. Just take a sample from the deep ice for testing. The problem, he said, is getting down that deep. You'll have to cut away at the ice, dig yourself a hole, and doing so will create fractures in the shelf. The asteroid may be big, but it is held together with only a weak gravitational force. The more the ice is cracked away, the less there is for the far spindle to harvest, something you doubt Malik will be happy about. You push the worry to the back of your mind and get suited up. Something on your mind? Bliss drifts up beside you and pulls a suit from the rack. Just hope we don't mess this up. Me too, they shrug. I don't want to jinx it, but it seems simple enough. Yeah, it seems way too easy. Can't say rock, or in this case ice cutting, is my usual strength, but it's got to be simpler than slicing a hull without touching any of the internals. Bliss zips up their suit. We'll be fine. Bliss's reassurance that they don't have any experience with the job you are about to do doesn't exactly calm your worries, but their nonchalant attitude helps, especially when you consider the volume of ice you are about to start cutting into. Cheer up. Bliss punches you on the arm as you get into the airlock. Might never happen. The lock cycles and you find yourself staring out at the glinting surface of the asteroid. 1 second, sleeper. Seraphin voices Seraphine's voice comes over the comms. I'm seeing something here. Some kind of man-made shaft on the far side of the asteroid. Interesting. Eugen is stood beside you in the airlock, but in this vacuum, you only hear him through the comms link. Crews sometimes stash goodies out on rocks like this. Let's go take a look. He pats you on the shoulder. Just hold up. Seraphine's voice cuts through. The survey is our first priority, and the integrity of the water ice. Hunting for buried treasure comes dead last on the to-do list. You can almost hear his eyes roll through the comms link. Don't get distracted. You squint at the rock and spot a dark recess just over the curve of the asteroid. That'll be the distraction then. You refocus on the ice sheet. Time to get started. Alright, so the ice, there's a potential fracture is the ice stress. Excuse me. We can look at the ice sheet, slice ice away, or we can look at the frozen shaft. That's the abandoned entryway. Explore the cracks. The shaft may be clogged with ice, but dark cracks suggest a more subtle way through, even if it'll be slow going. Clear the ice. The fastest way to descend the shaft is to break away the ice clogging it. But if you aren't careful, you damage the asteroid's structure. The shaft descent frozen and dark, descending the shaft to whatever lies beneath is a dangerous and delicate process. I mean, you'd get deeper inside. Maybe we can take the probes from there. Well, what is the ice sheet itself? Slice away ice. Rather than scanning for a sampling location, you can make one by chipping away the surface ice to reach the core. This is an aggressive approach. Survey surface. A section-by-section surface scan will guide you to a good sampling location. But with such a vast sheet, progress will be slow. Okay, so when this will result in sampling location, to get a survey of the water quality and volume, you'll need to take a sample core from the deepest section of ice. You know what? Let's get this done first. If we manage to get it done, we can still look at the tunnel. As the German saying goes, erst die Arbeit, dann das Vergnügen. First the work, then the fun. Bliss is going to slice away ice because they have a perfect die on it. That's 100% positive. That's how we do it. By working on existing fractures, the ice sheet can be broken away with little damage to its integrity. Now, unfortunately, both me and Eugen are not good at engineering, so it's not even worth trying. Eugen is not good at surveying the surface either, and neither is Bliss, but I have a +1, so I'll take the die with the number 4 on it and give it a try. 50% positive, 50% neutral. This section is deep and reaches out of scan range. It could make a good potential sample location. Let's do that again with a 3 dice, 25% negative chance. Okay, that just caused me stress. It didn't stress the ice. The scan is clouded with noise. This section will need to be rescanned with a more precise configuration. All right, let's try again. Then we only have those 2 dice left. And then we can use our push ability. Ugh, another negative outcome. All right, let's see what happens if we... Wait, what? Reroll 4 random dice? Oh my gosh, I could have re-rolled 4 dice. Okay. Well, at least it was worth it, because now we got 2 5s, which both, no, those are 6s. All right, which, let's see what happens if we put the 6 on with the 2 negatives. Does it turn into a 4? Yeah, it does turn into a 4. Okay, so then we'll do the survey. This section is deep and reaches out of scan range. It would make a good potential sample location. And the last one. Same result. And we're almost halfway there. Now, since these guys have dice left, we might as well take a look at the frozen shaft. Bliss can explore the cracks. They'll have a 25% chance for a negative outcome. The cracks lead to dark and treacherous dead ends. Is there even a way through? And Eugen can start clearing the ice. 50% positive, 50% neutral. Neutral. Oh, +1 ice stress. The shaft is starting to clear, but it's hard to ignore the huge cracks appearing in the icy walls. Yeah, we're not going to use his dice with the number 2 on it. We're just going to end the cycle. All right. Oh, that's a good die roll. At least for my character it is. This one? Yep. Survey the surface. Section is deep, reaches out of scan range. We make good for a sample location, and we're going to do that an additional 2 times. Yep. One more time. One more time. There we go. Now let's see if Bliss does the slice away ice. We'll get this done. Oh, that was pretty fun. You have identified the deepest part of the sheet. Time to take a sample core. Extract core sample. Ooh, that's not good. The only one that's good with endurance is Eugen. Time to drill down into the deep ice and extract a core of the asteroid's ice for testing and evaluation. Careful now. Okay, Eugen, you're up. All right, let's push through. Frozen core. The drill makes slow progress into the deep ice, the vibrations shaking the rig. He got stressed. Well, at least only he got stressed, not the ice itself. Let's extract some more. Ice stress and him stress. All around the drill site, the ice starts to fracture with deep cracks forming across the sheet. Not good. Yeah, not good indeed. Ooh. We're going to push to re-roll our dice. And those are not good, especially with the -2. Like, this is a 50% negative outcome. We're not going to even... No, we're not going to even humor that. We could explore the cracks. Yeah, let's do that. Ugh. The cracks lead to dark and treacherous dead ends. Is there even a way through? Are we going to risk another one? We're already pretty stressed out. That's not good. Can we reduce stress in here? I think we can't if we're on a mission, right? That's what it was. Yeah, it's locked. Okay. So let's end the cycle. Hope for better dice next cycle. One of your dice is broken due to losing all its dice health. Broken dice can be repaired at the rig for a cost once the workshop is available. Well, thanks to Bliss, we have the workshop, but that means that's 2 dice less. Uh-oh. That's not good. It's not good at all. Deep ice. All right, Eugen, you're up. better make this work. I'll get it done. The drill makes slow progress into the deep ice and the vibrations shaking the rig. Dude, we need a 25% positive outcome. Come on. Show us what you got. Nope. The drill makes slow progress into the deep ice and the vibrations shaking the rig. My 5 gets turned into a 4. The drill goes ever deeper, reaching for the oldest, purest part of the ice sheet. Excuse me. Okay, that's good. No stress. And I'll use that 5. On the frozen shaft, exploring the cracks. A large crack leads beneath a thick shelf of ice. The shaft stretches into the dark below. Okay. We have enough supplies to rest 3 more times, so let's just do that. No need to put more strain on ourselves with re-rolling dice. Okay, this is looking good now. We'll have Eugen finish up extracting. This is 50% positive. It's definitely going to finish it. The drill comes to a halt. The core sample is complete. And Eugen just has 1 more point of stress left. After that, we can't use his dice anymore for this mission. The sample core, a long and weighty cylinder of cloudy ice, comes up out of the borehole cleanly. It glows in the sunlight, catching the rays in its frosted interior. What a beaut, Eugen rumbles through the comms. Looks drinkable to me. Hell, I'd be happy to slice it up and drop a few chunks in a glass of rack. Let's not melt it down for liquid refreshment just yet, Seraphin chimes in. It's likely packed with unpleasant impurities. The question is, are they the kind of impurities the far spindle can filter out? Let's get it up to the ship so we can run the analysis on the trip back. Seraphin pauses. And before you get any ideas about digging around on that asteroid some more, remember that if we break away any of the ice, Malik will likely dock our pay. You start the journey back up to the ship, dragging the sample core with you. As you do, you look back down at the asteroid, wondering if it might be the bargaining chip Malik has been looking for. You'll know soon enough. Contract complete. But we still have some good dice to continue on here. We'll let Malik continue clearing the ice. The shaft is starting to clear, but it's hard to ignore the huge cracks appearing in the icy walls. Bliss is going to explore the cracks. 100% positive. A passage has been found through the shaft. Time to find out what is waiting in the darkness below. Good job, Bliss. New location discovered. Derelict bunker. We can scavenge hardware and we can scavenge data. Scavenge data gives us ghosts of the past. Scavenge data. Some mysterious terminals sit in the dark. Their cases may be rusted, but perhaps the drives inside can be spun up. Ghosts of the past. What was this place? If you can get one of the terminals started, perhaps you can extract some answers. Scavenge hardware. You inspect lumps of corroded scrap frozen into the walls. This place looks grim, but maybe within the ice you can find something useful. Rusted treasures. This place has been abandoned for decades, but perhaps there are some useful components tucked away. Now, unfortunately, Bliss' second dice is a 1, so that's not going to be of any use to us. But we can get 100% positive on the first scavenge data, so let's try that. A tucked away drive has an almost complete file system. The mysterious folder is glowing in pale orange. And now let me re-roll the dice. If we're lucky, no, that's going to break all of our dice. That's not a good idea. No, we're just going to take a break. We have 2 supplies left, so we can still keep going and doing this. Ooh, one of the dice broke nevertheless. That's not good. And Bliss's rolls are crap. Great. Well, we'll get a 100% positive. Tucked away drive is an almost complete file system. Mysterious folder is glowing in pale orange. And the last one is going to be a risk, but we'll try it. Go positive. Yes! Something flickers on a terminal screen, catching your attention. What is that? A flickering screen catches your eye in the dark of the bunker. A distorted female face, further refracted by the surrounding ice, stares at you from the terminal with blank white eyes. You move closer, straining to hear her voice, but the recording is silent, or perhaps the terminal's audio output is broken. All you can do is watch the pale face as it contorts through the corruption and noise. It could be explaining some important secret long forgotten, or just recounting a personal anecdote. It is hard to tell. Circles and curving arcs flash across the face, graphical visualizations of orbits and flight plans. You squint at them, the shapes unknown to you. And then, as soon as it starts, the playback ends, leaving a frozen frame on the screen, a ghost face circled by orbits. You slot a drive into the terminal and copy what residual data is left, unsure where it might lead you. Once it is done, you shut off the terminal once and for all. As you leave the bunker, the pale face flashes once more in your mind. Those blank eyes, the flat stare. Was that a human? Or something else? Ooh. You turn the image over in your mind, unsure of its importance. Okay, so, because Bliss's dice are crap, and Eugen has a -2, I mean, we can try it, but it's definitely going to stress out the ice. Let's give it a try, just to see what happens. Yeah, see? Ice stress, he's stressed. You have no idea, sleeper. Hacking away at the ice results in little more than cutting shards and worrying cracks. All right, so we'll drop that. Because Bliss's dice rolls are not going to get any great success, and we only have one more turn before we run out of supplies. So let's just go back. Yeah. Contract concluded. You can now travel back to the hub. Once you leave, you will not be able to return. Yeah. And we're retrieving, we're relieving ourselves of 5 points of stress during travel. That's good. On the journey back from the asteroid, you pored over the tests Malik had given you to run, improvising the necessary equipment from your mess. Each one produced a spool of data, much of which you couldn't parse. Arriving into the vicinity of the far spindle, you broadcast these strings of data to Malik's personal terminal on the Springtide as instructed, because he wanted it to be sent to him and him alone. He made that clear. Despite all this preparation, you are still surprised when you find Malik standing at the far side of the docking tunnel as you leave the rig. Sleeper. He nods neatly at you. I thought it was better I come down here, away from my crew, to discuss your findings. And the findings were straight to the point. He clasps his hands. Good. As I suspected, the asteroid was indeed rich with water ice. Thankfully, the contaminants can be dealt with. He speaks matter-of-factly, betraying little emotion. With the data you provided, I should be able to convince the Far Spindle administration of its worth. Then we're good? Malik smiles. That remains to be seen. Before I make payment, I would like to ask in person if you saw anything else of consequence. Anything to share with me that might affect my dealings with the Far Spindle. He folds his arms across his chest. I would prefer not to have any surprises when they go to retrieve water. There was a shout. Interesting, Malik smiles. It is likely of no consequence, but if there is something of value there, it could play to my benefit. I will mention the potential of additional salvage to the Far Spindle administration. Given the data, it doesn't seem to have impacted the ice. Malik reaches into his pocket and produces a stack of cryochits, bound carefully with a strip of paper. 250 cryo, as agreed. You take the chits and quickly tuck them away. With that, our business is concluded, Sleeper. Malik nods lightly. I must speak with the administration to negotiate the release of my ship and then prepare for immediate departure. The Syndicate will be eager for my successful return. Thank you. Malik bows and turns. Should our paths cross again, I will see that it will be to your benefit. Nice. Something flickers in the back of your mind. You stop. You have to stop. To blink it away. It is a tightness behind your left eye, an aching point that refuses to move. And then the voice begins, hissing through the background noise of the rig system, a new whine amongst the chorus of the life support and ventilation. Sleeper. The hiss brings Lane's sharp features to mind. I suppose you thought you'd slip my net. Hexport jumps into your mind, an image of the station immolating in white light, though you were not conscious to witness it. You are distant. His voice hisses into white noise. But you are not free of me yet. I'm coming, Sleeper. The hiss drops, and I will retake control of what is mine. The closer I come to you, the more you will feel it. Lane moves your finger to tap your forehead. In here. Until you cannot resist. A bright smile, pale eyes, a growing hiss that hurts. Then the hiss is gone. The rig's suddenly quiet, the stinging tightness diffusing behind your eyes, but the fear remains. Sleeper, you good? Seraphine is there, floating by your berth. You were talking. Lane is coming. Seraphine looks alarmed. You feel him, right? He looks away. We can use that. Stay ahead of him. He squeezes your shoulder. We can do this. We're fast and smart. We keep moving. We don't stay anywhere for long. And we find a way, he frowns. Somehow. You nod. You do not know how Lane is able to reach into your mind like this. How he's able to speak into you. But you want so desperately for it to stop. You must find out what he has done to you before it is too late. You must stay ahead of Lane at all costs. Sleeper! Cadet drifts from the shadows outside Bliss's Bay, looking around nervously as she approaches. Seems like I'm going to need to call in that favor. Her face is pale and deathly serious. What favor? She doesn't seem to hear you, distracted by a group of spacers gliding noisily down the passage behind her. She waits until they pass. Someone hits stripline. No idea where Kamal is. Bunch of goons tearing the place apart as we speak. She screws up her face in pain. Even tried to grab me, but those muscle heads are slow. Who would attack a Kuru? No idea, she shakes her head. These were typical Renda thugs. Could have been anyone with chits to burn. Remember that package I asked for your help with? The one that was bothering me? Remember you mentioning it. I reckon it's got something to do with it. The job was a bust. An express run all the way to the underhang, but when I got there, no one home. She's whispering now, leaning closer. The place was smashed up, like someone got there first. Should have dumped the package and run, but I brought it back like a good girl, stashed it in a safe spot at strip line. Thought the sender might come to recover it, and when they didn't, well, I got curious, popped it open. She shakes her head. Stupid thing to do. Inside was a drive, encrypted to hell and back. When I ran into you, well, I heard sleepers are good with data, with tech, so I thought you might be able to take a look at it. She shrugs. Now Stripline's trash too. Here's the thing, she glances around. Back when I popped it open, I noticed the drive had a dispatch marker. Hexport. Hexport? Could it be connected to export getting atomized? Yeah, that's where I am too. That's where I'm at too. This thing was sent out from there just before it got cooked. She pauses. And with the kind of attention I've been getting the past couple of cycles, she slips a hand terminal from her bag, taps a couple of times, then holds it up to you. Cadet stares out at you from the screen, straight-faced and pale. Beside her picture, you see in block capitals, Spindlejack KD754, in breach of the FAR spindle codes B12 and F34. Reward for information leading to capture. Consider it dangerous. Dickheads blasted it out on the transit channels. Every Spindlejack, hauler, and freight carrier is going to be watching for me. She pulls back the hand terminal angrily, stuffing it away in her bag. Something's going on. Anyone who can help? She looks away. Spindlejacks don't make friends easily, and now all the couriers I know are looking to turn me in for a payout. She snaps her head to the side, her eyes flashing with anger. Why do you think I'm here? It's time for that favor, Sleeper. She meets her eye. My connections are burned. Hell, my whole career is gone. I need to fight back. If I walk away, there's nothing to walk away to. She softens a little. I need your help. I'm such a goody two-shoes, right? What can I do? I need you to get the drive. She takes a breath. They want that so much. If they want it that much, then I could use it to buy my way out of this shit show. And I tucked it away somewhere safe. Though my guess is they haven't got it yet. Just slip in, I'll give you the location, and pull the thing out. She folds her arm. Should be simple. None of this is simple. Just snatch it and go. Don't overthink it. Look, this thing turns out to be worth something. You'll get your due. All I want is my life back. The drive is in the workshop. There's a loose panel behind the air bike rack. She leans in. It's taped to the back of the fuse box inside. I've got to keep heading down Spindle to the overhang, past the ends of the transit tunnels. No one will rat me out there. She glances around. I'll come find you when it's done. I've still got some network access. I'll know when you go in. She winks, offering no further explanation. My bike's locked up nearby. I'm gonna hop. She pauses. Do me this favor, then we are clear. She slips back into the shadows, and a few moments later, you hear the percussive pulse of an air bike accelerating away. You know at least what it's like to be on the run, to flee for your life. And in that, you feel an empathy, a connection with Cadet. But from every other angle, this thing looks like bad news. The kind a sensible person would steer you well clear away from. Yeah, but I'm not a sensible person. And perhaps you would steer well clear If it wasn't for one detail that is stuck in your mind, the drive is from Hexport. Is all that enough to send you down stripline in search of that drive? Only time will tell. I mean, we're short on time. We need to, first things first. We need to repair ourselves. Lane is hunting you once again. His progress will be tracked by the hunt clock. If this is filled, he will catch up with you. It will increase once every cycle you spend in a hub. However, each time you travel, the hunt will reduce by 3. If you can keep moving, you can stay one step ahead of Lane. Okay, it's sitting at 0. Right? It's sitting at 0, yeah. And we need to repair ourselves. We'll have to do a dice repair. Wow, we have to repair each dice separately. That's not good. Okay. Now we need to buy more supplies to keep repairing dice. We'll need to fill our supplies again, that's for sure. And we need to fill up the fuel, that's for sure too. We've still got 170 credits. Fortunately, those 250 credits paid out really well. How are we looking on time? Oh, we're so good. But we need to find a place where we can buy parts. Scrap dealers, maybe? We could buy scrap components, but that's only good for a scrap repair. Nevertheless, let's buy some and see what happens if we scrap repair. We do an improvised repair on the die. That work too? Okay. Okay. So, next cycle we're going to get those dice back. This cycle, how can we help? No, this is just working. It's got to be somewhere up here. Stripline Express, grungy air bike courier. We can scope security, or we can cut our way in. Now, cutting our way in is really bad with us because engineering, we're not good at engineering. So we'd have to intuit. The Renathugs cadet mentioned are guarding Stripline while they search for the drive. Better scope them out before heading in. All right, let's try. A dangerous drive. To get to the drive that Cadet hid in, Stripline Express, you'll need to find a route past those searching for it. The front of the Streamline Express is heavily guarded, but you notice some potential blind spots you could exploit. Good. Let's try again. Negative outcome. Curious drone is hunting around your lookout spot. You make a run for it before you are spotted. Okay. Now, I wonder, does going on a mission count as travel or not? I'm going to end this cycle, obviously. Oh, look who's here. Mr. Giles. He's just roaming around now. Oh, there he is. Say hello. Here. Here. All right. Let's keep going. Oh, we have 2 glitch dice. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's totally not good. That was my phone. Buddy, you can't throw my phone down like this. All right, we'll scope security one more time. I don't like these glitch dice though, because what was it? 20% positive, 80% negative? You know what? YOLO, right? Ooh. Okay. But the only thing that happens, again, the curious drone, but we get away, so it just causes some stress, which we can eat with food again. Positive. Front of the Streamline Express is heavily guarded, but you notice some potential blind spots you could exploit. Okay. You notice a telltale blue flashes of some kind of automated security inside. Who are these guys? 50% neutral. Let's try it. Curious drone again. Alright, last one. You notice the telltale blue flashes of some kind of automated security inside. Okay, next cycle we're going to finish this up, and we're going to start the mission and see if it reduces or not. There was a... No, we'll go to Gaia's Geyer and buy kelp cakes for 12. And we're back to full endurance. Go to the rig and the cycle. No, end the cycle. Hopefully we'll get better dice. Ooh, again 2 glitch dice. And 2 crappy dice. That's not good. Alright, let's finish up the Stripline Express now. Scope security. Yep. Some kind of automated security inside. And you prepared all you can. Time to get in there and grab that drive. You slide the loose panel away from the wall, letting it float there beside the airbike rack. Behind it, in the dark, you see the blinking lights of the fuse box. A noise nearby draws your attention for a moment. The scrape of a sliding door, maybe? Or just some old systems cycling in the walls. It took long enough to gain access to the Stripline Express bike garage, and longer still to find a safe route to the airbike racks. But you're almost there. You have seen and heard the hired muscles searching and guarding this place, but have been lucky enough not to come face to face with them. Yet. You turn back to the darkness behind the panel. If what Cadet said is right, the drive is taped to the back of the fuse box in front of you. You reach through and around, slowly, carefully, and your hand settles on something cold and metallic in the dark. It is taped firmly to the box. You pull at it, but it doesn't budge. A quiet rattle echoes from the dispatch office next door, and you freeze for a second. It seems Cadet was a little too enthusiastic with the tape. Tear it off or peel the tape? I think we're going to try and peel the tape, because if we tear it off, it's going to make noise. Neutral outcome. You close your eyes and feel for the seams of the tape. Taking your time, you pick at it, working each piece away from the drive. You hear a clattering sound nearby as you peel off the final piece and the drive spins into your hand. Time to move. You slip the drive inside your coat and kick away from the wall, gliding back towards the maintenance corridor you entered from. As you cross the bike garage, you hear voices in the dispatch office next door. Just as you tuck yourself into the cool darkness of the maintenance corridor, a screech indicates the opening of a door from the office next door. Voices rumble through the room, and you quickly and quietly push yourself deeper into the guts of the building. Too close. Barely daring to breathe, you carefully make your way through the maze of passages that brought you here, their doglegs and dead ends now familiar. Eventually, you spot a thin slit of light ahead, marking the loose panel you levered open to gain entrance. You take a deep breath, almost there. As you reach the gap, you freeze. Voices rumble from beyond, and peering through, you see two figures in dark clothes, searching the chaotic bay behind the strip line. Your eyes are drawn to the dark, boxy weapon one holds at their side. Shit, you hiss silently to yourself, your eyes searching for a path through. Patience is key. Wait for an opening. You wait, silent and still, as the figures search. They split and drift across the bay. You take the chance, sliding open the panel and slipping behind the scrap and boxes at the edge of the room. You work your way around until you can't get any further. You kick off hard, making a dash for the far side of the bay and the public passage beyond. There's a hiss and the guttural chatter of a pressure valve as an airbike pulls up beside you in the passage. Cadet leans over and grabs the collar of your coat. Hop on! In a moment, you are on the back of the airbike, clutching the strap of Cadet's bag as she guns it down the passage, the air resistance almost ripping you from the thin seat. You lean against her back and let out a sigh, the drive pressing into your ribs beneath your jacket. You did it. You did it. Still alive back there? Cadet's voice brings you back from the hypnotic rhythm of the tunnel lights and rushing past the airbike. She slows the bike with a rapid series of hisses, and you realize she's brought you back to the passage outside Bliss's Bay. You try to understand the route she took, a long loop through the branching transit tunnels of the station, but give up. You can let go now. She straightens up and you unhook your fingers from her bag strap, separating yourself from her back. You push off the bike gently and float in the passage beside her. You okay? Look pretty rough back there, she smiles. Appreciate you pulling it all on the line. You're putting it all on the line for me. It's all good. She nods. You got the drive then? You fish the drive out of your jacket and hand it over. That's the one, she squints at it. Should have chucked it when I had a chance. You get your first good look at it, and there's not much to see. A small lump of solid-state memory with a few markers on the case. You spot a yellow hex among them. Hexport. We shouldn't hang around. Damn right. She slides her bag around her shoulder to the front and slots the drive neatly into a pocket. I know someone in the scatter yards who can crack anything. She'd be my first port of call to crack this thing open. She stretches her shoulders. And I should make myself scarce from the spindle anyway, before those dickheads catch up with me. Come with us. Appreciate the offer, but I think it's best we go our separate ways for now. Two targets are harder to track than one. She cycles the pressure valve on the bike impatiently. Cadet leans away from her bike, squinting out of the viewing window at your ship behind. Yours? She doesn't wait for an answer. If I'm not mistaken, that old thing is going to struggle to reach the scatter yards, unless you've added a hazmat suite. No, I haven't. But I've already read that we need that to get there. You'll need hazard navigation to make the crossing safely. Lotic Syndicate created the tech to help their tankers cross the belt. Common knowledge. Cadet nods at your ship. Maybe if you head up to Wellspring, you can barter or steal a suite. She adds casually. Okay, wellspring. Here. Cadet unties a bag, lashes her bike frame, and holds it out to you. Not enough here for a refit, but maybe you'll find some use for it. You take the bag and something clinks inside of it as you do. You open it to see a couple of engine components. I was going to use them to boost her. She taps the frame of the air bike, but you deserve them. She meets your eye, then looks away. Not like I'll be doing any runs for a while anyway. Thanks. It's nothing. Like I said, you deserve them. She flexes her fingers on the bike's handles, eager to be away. Cadet's air bike stutters and purrs, trembling in the air like an arrow steady to be loosened. See you around. She winks and guns the throttle, zipping off down the passage with a pulse of air that ripples through your clothes. You stare after her as she goes, a bag of components still hanging from your hand. You realize as you look down the passage that you never asked how Cadet plans to get to the scatter yards. That question, like a score of others, will have to wait until you run into her next. Although you have a feeling she will find a way to slip away before you can ask the next time too. You head back towards your ship to stow the components, idly wondering if you could justify buying an air bike to Seraphin as you do so. Right? But those are components, engine components. Maybe we can do something with them. Let me take a look at the map one more time. The belt. Where's Wellspring? Wellspring is the one. No, that's Flotsam. Hellion Gate. Where's Wellspring? Greenbelt. Scatter Yards is down there. Where's Wellspring? Holmes Rock. Well, oh, okay. So basically, go to Flotsam. Looks like the line between Flotsam and Holmes Rock is open. So we can go from Flotsam to Holmes Rock, and then from Holmes Rock to Wellspring. And then come back here. So that's definitely going to be a while. We still need to get that job done for Eugen though. But that's a job for next time. And next time, we're going to take the job for Eugen. Maybe if we're able to successfully get that job done as well, we can recruit him permanently to our crew. We'll see. And I will now take a look for a raid. If you're watching this on YouTube, this was actually recorded live on Twitch on my gaming channel at evilzone_plays. If you watch it to this point and you're enjoying the series, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you'll always know when the next episode of Let's Play Citizen Sleeper 2 goes live. Please leave a like. I hear that commenting in the comment section of YouTube always helps push videos in the algorithm so more people can see it. If you would be able to do that, I would greatly appreciate that as well. And like I said, if you're watching this live on Twitch, I will now be moving over to the end card where we're going to find ourselves a raid. Thank you for hanging out. My name's Evil Zone. It's been a pleasure. Happy Time Zone.